Come on, bruh. You know it only happens after dark.
Welcome back to the After Dark podcast. It's your boy Mike. We got Big Stir in the building like always. How you doing, Stir?
Good, man. I'm good. Just chilling. I'm excited for the weekend. Moving into the new spot, so that's gonna be sick. It's gonna be a hassle, but I'm really excited. Lucky it came on the July 4th weekend, and I think work's gonna basically let us work from home on Monday, like fully. So you know what that means. It's just more unpacking, putting stuff together, buying and shit. Like, we gotta go get a IKEA couch. I think we'll probably just get that this weekend. I'm excited as hell for that, dude. It's gonna be sick. And
You
just
got
because
the
we thought
casting
about
couch coming in.
no, it's not gonna be black. I think we're gonna go for a casual gray as per usual in most in indoor attire nowadays. But super excited for that. Just logistically, it makes more sense. So like whenever we do leave, like whoever wants to keep it, just kind of like, hey, like here's like $100 for it, like whatever. This is your split or whatever the hell we pay for it.
Hell yeah.
And yeah, man. Work had a really good day. I've had a great week at work. Last couple weeks have been great. Getting a lot of traction, understanding my job a little bit more. Not understanding my job necessarily, but understanding like how my process is going to be, closing, setting, going through meetings, etc. And really enjoying it. Have a lot of help from some of the gals in my office. They're really helping me out a lot, and specifically the girls. They're really like helpful in that. The boys are the boys. Boys love helping each other out where it's needed. But if you don't ask, they ain't gonna tell. That's just how it is. But that's cool with me. Like I'm the same way. But how about yourself?
I'm doing good, man. Ain't got too much to approach on. I'm ready to fucking dive right into this because we got some good
Oh
topics on the dock. We got a few things. Young Thug dropped his album. We got to compare it to
Sure.
what Gunna did because we just got to. He dropped it a week later. We're going to have to get to that. And we got a bunch of new album announcements that came out, so we're going to get to some of that too. NBA
Yeah.
had crazy trades left and right.
Already started.
Shocking trades, just so much to get into on that. We got Black React. I'll keep that one. I'll keep you on your toes for that one because I think we're going to have some fun with that one. Then we got the BET Awards. Tyler Perry's first BET Awards. So we're going to talk about that. But before we get into any of that, we're going to start off with the news that has been breaking the internet all across. If you haven't heard about this, then I don't know what you've been doing. It's kind of like when they say, the rich gets richer, they weren't talking about this scenario. That's for sure. And if you don't know what I'm talking about OceanGate. OceanGate was a bunch of billionaires on their quest to aboard their submarine, go down and take a peek at the remains of the Titanic. But it did not quite work out the way they wanted to. They tried to create their own submarine and, take some shortcuts, I would say, or thought they were Inspector Gadget with the way that they were creating this submarine on some technological innovation bullshit. I don't even know. But Sterling, my question to you is, what are your thoughts? What did you think about the whole scenario? What can we gather from this scenario? I know that it was just completely mind-blowing and just a wild, Earth season 2023. Whatever aliens are watching us right now are like, that episode was fucking bugging. That shit was bugging.
Yeah, they got the new drama up there, man. It's like your favorite TV show. Literally, watch Earth. That shit's probably insane. But nah, man. I saw. Obviously we heard about it when it was the beginning of the quote unquote expedition to go to the Titanic's remains, which is, I believe, it's 40,000 meters deep, and they only estimated it at 13, or it's 4,000, not 1,300, and they said like they could go down to the remains, and that amount of pressure at that low of a that low. If you guys don't know, and I'm sure you guys do, but for the folks that maybe are a little confused, the deeper you go in the ocean, the heavier it is. What I mean by heavier means the more effective gravity. Like legitimately, it feels like weights on your back if you go deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. And we know as humans, we need air to breathe, aka oxygen. While in the water, when people scuba dive, you obviously have the oxygen tanks, you have all that stuff. So that's great and that's fantastic. But also in that same point in gravity, it's pressure. There's an immense amount of pressure at that deep down. And I was hearing like, I'm sure everybody knows Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast, give us a shout out on your channel, please. He was actually very close to being on that submarine, which I thought of it in a different light. Like when I was hearing other people that were going to be on the submarine and going down to see it, because it would be super cool to be able to see that. But honestly, I don't give a fuck about the Titanic. I've never even watched the damn movie. Honestly, I know the premise of it. I
haven't seen that movie either. I know the one scene that everyone talks about, and it's 3 hours long. If I'm gonna watch the whole damn movie to see that one scene at the end, that's not happening. It's not happening anytime soon.
No, absolutely not. And like, I know it's a classic, and there will be a day I watch it. Like, I know there will be a time in my life I will watch it. The OG one, Leonardo DiCaprio, being a beast, suave as all hell. That's my boy. Favorite white actor, honestly, of all time. But aside from the point, like, I don't give that much of a hell about the Titanic. Like that, and I'm not even trying to come at white folks for that. That's a white people thing, bro. Like that's a non-black thing, I should say. Like black folks say, like, hey, let me get down as deep as we want in the water as possible. First off, we already know the stereotype that black people can't swim and they already afraid of the water in the first place. Last thing we're gonna do is put ourselves in a fucking submarine where we can't go nowhere and it's controlled by a damn Xbox controller.
Well, first of all, you couldn't put 3 rich ass or multiple rich ass niggas into a small ass submarine with them big ass egos and shit like that.
Bro, they would have been fighting in that bitch.
Like they would have been listening, like trying to figure out for you. Now they said they heard knocking and shit like that. They would have just been like, it was crazy. We heard a lot of gunshots. Like,
I mean, I just think at the end of the day, I can appreciate people want to be an exploratory. And like that's what life is. Life is a part of is having adventures and experiences if you can afford. That's the shitty part about it. Not everyone can afford not that necessarily that adventure, but even like trips to like, oh, I want to go to Miami, I want to go to Puerto Rico, I want to go to Spain. Like these all take money. And once again, I mean, I don't want to be the guy that says this because like rich folks out there or people with a ton of money be like, no, you don't know what you're talking about. Money buys fucking happiness. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. It just depends on how you view it. It's all about perspective. And these people were seeing that this was going to be a happy moment in their life. Obviously, and I want to laugh at it, but I'm not going to because there's dead folks and that's just not who I am. But like they thought it was going to be a happy moment. It turns out it's one of the most catastrophic events that's probably this happened in the 21st century at this point, especially in the recent history aside from COVID and the election of Donald Trump. And I think that when it comes down to that ideology, like OceanGate, there was so many researchers and people it was completely disproven that they could even do this. And with people with that much money, you would think they would have the resources for people to tell them like, hey, yo, like this literally is not safe. Like it is not as safe. They're saying you will have a safe dive. No. You're talking about 4,000 meters deep in the water, bro.
14,000.
Like it's 14,000. Thank you. I mean, it's deep as hell. And bro, we haven't discovered what is like 90-something percent of like the ocean species or something like that.
Yeah, and that's something I want to harp on to a little bit later. But like you said, when you said money buys happiness, which I totally agree with. I think anyone who disagrees with that doesn't have enough of it.
Facts.
But
that's absolute facts.
But money also, like I said, creates ego. And, where the ego took place in this scenario is, the billionaire that was crafting the submarine or kind of the head idealist behind the submarine and the project itself and the trip itself, he's had moments of doing this. He's made different submarines that have worked and that work properly. He's done a lot of adventurous things in this nature, and it's kind of where his background is. He had NASA work on the core part of the submarine, the part that won't combust. He had NASA. He said if he said that if everything else could go wrong, but this one part is the part that I like made sure was right. And he was like, we'll live. Ironically enough, you know, we know what happened. Hindsight's 2020. But you know,
Bombastic side eye, bro. Bombastic side eye. Like that boy is really wild.
it's wild. And the crazy thing is, it's like we've seen this, rest in peace Kobe, of these very well-off individuals not listening to the experts in their field and trying to push it because, you know, they got things going on. They're moving fast. I understand. They got life going on. They're on top of the world. They can't see the consequences at hand. You know, I got this. We're going to make this work. I've made everything work. I'm a billionaire. I've made everything work from this point on. I'm going to make this work too. But it's just kind of wild. Like, another crazy thing is the son of the billionaire. He's just out here having the time of his life or whatever. I don't know. Cardi B was calling him out, and he was saying Cardi B was trying to get clout off his family. I was like, bro, I've never heard of you before. I don't know what makes you think Cardi B need clout from your family, dog. Like, it seemed like you out here trying to get some clout. It seemed like you know what kind of inheritance is about to come in your pockets.
You are litty, boy. That shit, that life insurance is about to hit. That hedge fund, the trust fund, bro. Good Lord, bro. You said, oh, a girl wants you. I take you to wherever you want. I take you to the baby up, what the Babalos, to the Vava, to back
Bibelos.
to the Bibelos, bro. You going wherever you want. Look, and I can appreciate his enthusiasm about like the inheritance, because like honestly, like I love my parents to absolute death. I wouldn't want to see them pass at any point. I know it's a thing that's going to happen. Like I can't stop it. But bro, I'm gonna be a little bit lit from my inheritance as well. I can't be mad at the kid, but then couldn't come at somebody like Cardi B who really don't give a fuck about him. Just say he's wilding out, not having no damn emotion, which I can appreciate as well. But like, damn.
It's his
like,
stepdad, though, too. Like, bro, like, come on. I don't know what kind of relationship he's got, stepdad. Maybe they got a nice relationship, but it's his billionaire stepdad. I'm sure this nigga, like, I'm sure there's a kind of, you know, that's upsetting. That's sad. Ooh.
Yeah, that's one of them, like, that's like that sarcastic, like, damn, mom, I'm like, I feel for you. And you're like looking over her shoulder like, hell yeah. Like, you already know you already know he better whip out a Ferrari quick as fuck if he already don't got one now. And I think the funny thing is like I was watching a video of the guy that was like putting it together, and he was obviously he had the Xbox controller in his hand, which was fucking hilarious.
Yeah. I
think that shit's just a joke in and of itself. I get it. Think it's like weird, nerdy people, and I'm a nerd in and of itself for certain things, but not shit like that. It seemed kind of cool. So, oh shit, you could control something so powerful and so complex with a controller. Whereas he was talking about like, oh, I got these parts from like a local like scrap store or something like. I'm like, bro, what?
He got a local Home Depot security camera screwed onto the side. I'm like, this dude don't give a fuck, yo. Heck, bro. He was really in there at Home Depot shopping while Shaq was macking on the little Home Depot chick and shit. Like, Home Depot's been lit the last couple days. Stock is rising right now. I'm like, well, it probably fell after that bullshit, but all I'm saying
I can't even fuck with Home Depot. I'm just thinking that shit's crazy. Like the fact that like I know for myself, right? Like if I was wealthy enough like that, these people have the type of wealth where like they could spend absurd amount of money on a daily basis and not go broke. Like that's the type of bread they had. And I know for myself, if I was that wealthy, first off, I'm not getting a fucking submarine. Two, I'm gonna have some people on my end that I'll pay, be like, yo, I need to do all the research you can on top of what people have already said to see if this is even legit before I really get in this bitch. I'll still pay the $250 or whatever the cost was if I don't go, just to make sure they're happy. And
he
like,
did that and didn't listen to him.
Yeah, exactly. And that's where I'm like, my thought process is like, look, bro, I respect everybody's decisions and I gotta respect everybody's opinions. I don't like them all. I don't like them, all of them. I don't, but I gotta respect it. You live and die by the sword. Like if you gonna live by it, you gotta die by it. And it's just like when folks say you live and die by the three. I mean, that's the fucking Golden State Warriors this past postseason. You live and die, and you die by it, and you lose. In this case, this was completely catastrophic, and it was shows mortality. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. The fucked up part about it is, and I kind of want to steer this conversation here because I've always said if I was a billionaire, I would not focus on space. I would focus on the ocean. And I think that this situation right here is going to deter a lot of billionaires from focusing on the ocean anytime soon. But I really do believe that, every single billionaire is fascinated with going to space. They want to find out what's happening on Mars, what's happening on the moon, what's past all that, what's going on in space. But I'm like, dude, there are probably so much cool shit, so many answers that could be had and questions to be answered to just right here on our planet in the ocean that we choose not to discover for whatever reason. I know we probably don't have the technological capabilities to really discover the depths that we want to discover, but I mean, that's where the funding comes in place. I mean, once the funding keeps going and that interest and that intrigue is there, the technology and the advancements in those technologies will take place as well and will follow suit. I just think it would be cool to see what's going on in the ocean. Imagine there's some ocean niggas down there, bro. Like gang niggas down there, just ocean, just swimming.
Like Black Panther type shit, bro.
No, there'd be White Panther because there ain't gonna be no Black Panthers down there. Ain't no niggas down there swimming. It's gonna be some white people swimming down there. White mermaid.
Hey,
that's the only problem with the Black mermaid. Why would a Black mermaid be swimming? We don't be swimming like that.
We don't fuck with the water like that. I mean, like, you can like the beach, but like the water, first off, that salt ass water going to dry your damn skin out. Our skin is too damn precious and got too good of melanin in it for it to be ruined by some fucking salt. FYI, for the white folks and people that aren't black and have a ton of melanin in their skin, even for the light skinned folks, I'll be honest with you, bro, you go in the ocean, you're fucking up your skin. Like, the salt they're like, oh, it's good for your skin. In moderation, my nigga. Like, if you go out there every damn day, like, oh yeah, this summer I spent like basically a full month at the beach in total. Bro, your skin is raw, my boy. Like, it's raw. It's fall is coming. And if you're in like a windy city like Chicago, New York, maybe like a Green Bay, like Kansas City, bro, your face is gonna be chapped and your whole face gonna feel like you got shards of glass ripping on it, bro. But on the point of OceanGate, I love that because I agree with you. I think the ocean is such a fascinating place that we just don't know how fascinating it can be. And I hope in my life there's discoveries that are really groundbreaking, because there's definitely more than what we know down there. We know that for a fact. We don't know it for a fact, but with the speculation around it, there could be an entire civilization literally living in the ocean. We talk about space all the time and fucking aliens, but there could literally be an entire colony of people based on, if you believe in evolution at all, in the science of it. You could be a Christian but still understand this shit really do be happening. I certainly believe there are people down there, or entities down there, that probably fucking, for all we know, speak fucking English and are normal as hell. They might just be walking around. They might not even have no damn fins like a mermaid.
Even if there's not living beings down there, we could probably find, because the tectonic plates, they move and the ocean covers new places. There could be old civilizations just covered in water that was once land at one point, until the poles started shifting and everything got rearranged. So there could be civilizations that we've never discovered, buildings, monuments, all those kind of things, just in the depths of the ocean through the evolution and everything changing and, erosion and all that fucking bullshit that I didn't pay attention to in biology or whatever fucking class it was that I had to learn about that stupid ass shit. But yeah,
science is pretty important when it comes down to it, if you're doing it for profession, but in reality it's not important, because you can get a biologist, somebody that actually knows what the fuck they're talking, to tell you what the hell's going on if you don't know it. So that's the beautiful thing about it. I did want to mention, in that same vein, I know that people are probably like, we should feel bad, you should be suing OceanGate, 1000%. but I'm sure I didn't do too much research on this, but I'm sure there's some type of liability form in some context in what they signed. There had to be. There's
you
no
know
way
they
they just
signed the Black Mirror terms and conditions.
yeah, you sign that terms and conditions, you're fucked because they can do whatever the hell they want. They can be like, "Yo, we're gonna torture you on the submarine, and you can't sue us if you come back alive."
They go put
Like,
out
and
the
if you
live
come
footage.
live
I would
footage.
watch that shit.
Old white, oh yeah, old white billionaire fights his or not Hispanic, Asian white billionaire. Who wins? And people got pay-per-view of that motherfucker while the shit's combusting at the same time. Like it baffles me that people were so shocked that this happened. It genuinely does. Like, I am not baffled. I'm just like, why the fuck would you go down there when you have all this information to not go? Like, it is just flat out stupid. And I believe, you know, like how when you're young, especially even now, man, like we haven't really hit that point quite yet. We're starting to, like, even if you work out, you stay healthy, eat healthy, like all those things. Like when you're young, you have that invincibility mindset, right? Like, oh, dude, like I can't die, like nothing can happen to me, like I won't get sick, like all this shit, right? And I think when you have a certain amount of money, you genuinely feel invincible. And in reality, bro, you basically are. Magic Johnson, and I'm not trying to be like that guy, but he has HIV, and I never showed a damn sign of HIV ever any struggle with it. I understand it's a little bit different. I don't want to go too deep in this because I know it's a sensitive topic, but when you have the money to provide yourself with the type of healthcare you need, or any type of like any healthcare, whatever it needs to be healthy, you know, live on this earth as a normal person, you feel that way, man. You feel invincible.
You
So
think they were panicking? How do you think it was when they lost communication, all the lights went out? Because I mean, I know like the death was like that. Apparently it happened so quickly that like your spine doesn't even register that
your nerves don't register it
that you're
happened.
dead
Yeah.
yet. Yeah, it happens so quickly that you won't even know. It'd just be like boom, lights off.
Yeah.
Quicker than that, probably.
Lights out. I mean, they talk about people that like get shot like in like fatal parts on their body, like with whatever guns it may or may not. 9mm fucking sniper. Like they say with like sniper rifles, like 50 cals. Like you get shot in the dome piece with a 50 cal, you don't even feel the shit. Like that type of thing. If I'm thinking about panicking, like hell yeah, they're panicking, bro. It's just like the fucking movies. You know, in the movies, they're like in the plane. I'm like, oh, fuck, what's going on? What's going on? And it's like, bro, y'all about to die. Like it's gonna happen. There is no getting out. You are X amount of feet in the air. You aren't living, my boy. And that's the same way. I mean, I'm sure there was probably at least one person, I imagine, and this is what I always believe this in like very frantic situations. There's always one person, even if it's an unsuspecting person, that's like calm in those moments of like complete chaos, where like death is on the table, like this is gonna happen.
I mean, some of those niggas were old, bro.
Well, and that's also probably one of the things too. Is like, you know, you have bucket list things, right, man? Like everybody should write a bucket list. If you have a terminal illness, like, and I don't even mean to go like down the dark path.
What's on your bucket list?
Bucket list, definitely gonna want to go skydiving. Definitely gonna probably do that here sometime next year. That's my goal, is to do it next year. I really want to be able to go. I know it sounds so basic, but want to go to Miami, but I also want to be able to go out of the country to like Europe. And also be able to see Asia and Europe. Want to see Spain and the cathedrals and things like that. Italy. I really want to see those types of places. Just want to be able to travel. Traveling is mostly my bucket list. I don't have any necessarily activities I want to do. I'd love to fly an airplane. That would be dope. That would be dope as fuck. My dad used to fly. The guy, he's like pilot license, flew all over the country. Like, I would love to be able to do that. I know that takes a lot of time, but that's something I would do.
We're gonna have Sterling nigga Airgate.
Here's if I'm fortunate enough.
Air nigga gate. Sterling flying the plane, and that shit gonna be brutal.
Yo, get on my plane. It's gonna be a single passenger plane, one person. Hey, you might be the one person I could put on that single passenger plane. But hey, yo, Mike, you wanna come up on here, man? I've been training for 2 weeks.
I'm not getting on not one goddamn plane ride that you flying, my nigga. I love you, my boy, nigga, but I'm not getting on not one plane ride. They
gonna hit you with the and this is dark for the folks. Like, you might want to put a disclaimer before I even within the video for the folks on YouTube and even on Spotify and other platforms that are listening. Y'all know about the 9/11 thing where one of the guys went down to the training place in Florida, said, "Hey, I don't need to know how to land the plane," and the instructor wasn't baffled by the idea that he has no concern in landing. That'd be that type of thing. Like, oh, yo, I don't really know how to land this shit, but like we gonna wing it. Fuck it, you know.
If I get in a plane with you flying, just know that I'm also crossing off my skydiving bucket list. Just know that shit.
Get that fucking motherfucking parachute out, bro. That motherfucking parachute coming out. I was like, I don't even know how to use this shit. Like, eject.
Ain't no way in hell.
Houston, we have a motherfucking problem. But nah, man, that's just a wild scenario. I feel bad for the families. I really do. I think that when it comes to that type of stuff, it's a sad thing because, like, once again, I think it's one of those moments where they were going to be like, oh, that's super happy, super fun. They're about to come back with all this, like, cool stories. And it's just like people that die in tragic situations. This is a tragedy, but it's a tragedy that could have been fully avoided. Like, it wasn't one of those tragedies where, like, there was a shooting at the mall and, like, nobody knew that was going to happen, obviously.
Now, do we, and I say this with caution because I know that there's people that have passed away and, you know, some people are grieving at this moment, but this is a podcast, so I'm going to pod a little bit here. So bear with me. What are the chances that they were not on that submarine?
Bro, that's a conspiracy theory for the fucking ages, right there, to be frank. I see.
Cause like how do you even become a billionaire and do some stupid shit like that?
Jeffrey Epstein, and I know this is a weird path to go into in terms of logic and reasoning here. Jeffrey Epstein and that whole shit with, like, Jeffrey Epstein Island, whatever the fuck the island was called, the Creep Island, might as well call it that, bro. Like, the claims that, celebrities that people love, were their fucking children, torturing them, doing whatever, like all types of fucking fucked up shit. The rich do shit because they have it all. They have to do shit that is, to us, absurd, but to them it's like a normal day on the block.
Yeah, how else are they going to get a rush? They've done everything else. They need, like, they can't do normal people shit to get a rush.
There's no they don't get any dopamine from it, bro. Their endorphins are dried, bro. They're dried. There's no coming back. So, yes, I believe there is a likelihood that they could still be alive and they could be basically like doing a crazy exploration, like a crazy fucking exploration. But I also do believe that the niggas are dead as fuck and their bodies are basically just actually not even there because their spines probably just disintegrated once they snapped, or imploded, I think is the better word for it. And if they really are, like, alive, I could see it. I mean, you have the money, you have the resources, you have the people, you have the connections. Like, there's no reason you wouldn't be able to be like create one of the biggest scandals of all time by doing that.
If they're alive, Mr. Krabs is fucking geeking right now that, you know, a couple billionaires came into the Krabby Patties. Krusty Krab. Imagine some Krabby Patties, bro.
Another conspiracy, bro. Imagine if SpongeBob's based off of a very, like, fucked up, a lot of fucked up shit. But imagine if that place is legitimately real, like, and the government knew it and they allowed them to write the show on it and people were just getting exposed to it and they're like, oh, people love this shit. And we already have it on Earth and we've had it since the 90s or in the ocean. Imagine if there's a fucking sponge, a crab, a fucking massive whale,
a squirrel in a fucking submarine suit.
Bro, I'm telling you, like, this shit, like, everything you see, and this is honestly from me watching a couple Black Mirror episodes, which is fucked. Till you start seeing shit and thinking shit completely different, like how the government and what we know, not just the American government, the world government, because there's world leaders. Like if y'all don't believe there's like world, like people that run the world that aren't in government, y'all are fucking tweaked. Like there is too much shit that happens in this world that doesn't have a higher power or hierarchy to it that is above Barack and Donald or American presidents and Kim Jong-un and the Chinese president and Putin and all the European nations. Like, bro, I'm telling, and the African nations too. Don't think the black folks ain't involved too, because they just as greedy as everybody else too. We ain't no different. But that shit's wild to me, and I think that's one of the like overarching things that I get from this is like, dude, let's use these billionaires as an experiment, because they're like, oh, there's no like real trillionaire, like legitimate trillionaires. There are fucking trillionaires out there, bro. I'm telling you this shit right now. There are motherfucking trillionaires out there.
Oh yeah, the richest people in the world, everything. I don't think we know who they are. And the most powerful people in the world, I don't think, what kind of power would they have if we knew who they were?
You probably walked by an extremely powerful person before. Like, New York's a great place. I
doubt it, bro. New York's one of those.
No. But I'm saying when you go to places, you don't go like in like very highly populated places with a lot of wealth running through like those areas. I think we probably don't even realize we're probably walking and maybe bumped into, maybe behind somebody in line, not necessarily on your day to day, but like when you're on vacations in places that aren't necessarily your regular place, unless you live in one of those places. If you live in fucking Dubai, like, yeah, you're just gonna be surrounded by motherfucking rich niggas. But like, there is so many things that we don't know, and we'll probably never know. And I hope, and like, look, whatever your view of the afterlife is, like for the folks out there, like Christian, Buddhist, like atheist, agnostic, like whatever you're fucking, I would hope that no matter what the religion is, there's like some person that tells us like, yo, this is what the fuck's going on Earth, bro. This shit's crazy. Like, I'll be like, oh my God. Send me to hell or send me to heaven, whatever the fuck my destination needs to be. But I'm like, damn, that's fucking wild. Like, I knew it. Like, just all, like, yo, they're like, yo, you get 10 questions, ask away. I would be lit.
I would be like, lit. That's honestly how I feel when I watch movies. When movies come up with these like crazy scenarios of how like the world works, and I feel like sometimes when I'm watching, I'm like, maybe this is like them saying, oh, we made this story up, but this is really how this shit be working. And they just not telling us that like, this is not no fucking, there's not no made up story. Like, I'm really giving you the fucking real life shit right now. Yeah, like.
Nah, man. I love talking about this. We can talk about this shit all night and we go on crazy tangents like we did right now. But final thoughts for me. I mean, I think in OceanGate, I think it was a cool idea. I think the folks that obviously passed in the wake of that, rest in peace.
R.I.P.
I will say y'all niggas were dumb as fuck for it, and I'm just gonna be 100% honest. I'm not gonna cap with you. Like, my wife, kids, whoever, like if I was at that point in my life, girlfriend, whatever you want to say, any person that give a fuck about me would have been like, yo, hey, nigga, like, nah. Like, ain't no way you going down
they
there.
Don't
ain't
give a
no
fuck.
way.
No, they were like, oh, the researchers said it's not safe. That stepson was like, nah, Dad. They were telling you it won't safe when you were broke, now you a billionaire. That shit ain't never stopped you before. Sent his ass straight down there and says,
he said, you ever heard, when you get crossed up in basketball and then like, damn, I made that boy touch earth. They really touched earth.
Oh,
they touched it. And their spines are at the bottom of earth. They're on the very, very, very surface that we don't know anything about. But with that being said, it's gonna go into a different lane here. I know that we love controversy and we love music, and we continue to say this on every single pod, and I will continue to say it. Why do we love music? It's because of situations like this. if you didn't know, now you know. Last week, last Friday, Young Thug dropped his album. Obviously, we spoke about the Gunna album prior to that, knowing that it was coming out. And Gunna dropped his album the week prior. Business is Business, name of the album. Hella features on it. I ain't gonna sit here and lie to you. He had 2 Drake features, I think 2 Travis Scott features, a 21 feature, an Uzi feature, which I fuck with so heavy. Future. Who else was up there, bro? Like, it was star-studded.
The Metro version has Nicki and Juice WRLD as well.
Yeah, and then like it was produced by Metro Boomin, and Metro Boomin is at the peak of his powers right now. He is fucking Thanos, bro. He can do no wrong. He gets snap of a finger and niggas just like, damn, that shit fire. Like, don't even think. Brains just dopamine high as hell. Endorphins out the wazoo. And just going off of that, business is business. Want to get the review first up front of before we start going into any questioning. Want to see what your thoughts are on it before we go into some other topics here.
Yeah, so, obviously came out a week after Gunna's release, so naturally we're gonna have to compare it. Obviously, I'll save that for later. I'll just give my initial thoughts without giving Gunna's album any consideration at all. So Initially, when I played Young Thug's album, obviously these were tracks that were already made before the trial, before the RICO case. So they were scrapping pieces together, getting people on. Metro, it sounded kind of like this was something that they were probably going to drop. A lot of these tracks were going to drop before all this happened. But honestly, I thought it was a good project overall. Now, he had a lot of features. Gunna didn't have features. But I thought the Drake songs were really good. I really like. Dude, Drake, I don't even know how, like, he was over there harmonizing on Parade on Cleveland, and it was the most fire thing ever. Like, when the fucking beat drops on that, Parade on Cleveland, soon as I come home. I'm like, bro, how does this nigga make that shit sound hard, bro? Drake he's him. I really like the Future song. I thought the Future card Bring Me Out. I don't even know what that phrase, you know what that shit means? I done got some rich, I think my cars bring me out. What does that fucking mean, bro?
It means, I think from my understanding, I've listened to that song quite a bit too. So I think what he means is that, like, obviously you know, like how we, like, as like guys, if you're a single guy, you're gonna go out and you're gonna go out for like the bitches and like, and I'm not saying bitches in an offensive term. I'm really not, ladies, I promise. Like, you go out for the girls, you go out for the times, you go out for the, like, to what we do. He's literally saying that I don't go outside unless I want to whip my fucking nice ass cars. Like, I've got everything else I need inside my house. I can get anything I want inside my house. Great food. I don't need to, like, he doesn't have to do anything except go outside to drive his car if he wants to really, really, really go outside.
Well, let me tell you something, Young Thug. You too rich to be driving cars. If I was as rich as him, I would never touch a steering wheel. But everybody already knows I'm a backseat rider. But anyways, back into the album. Back into the album. The 21 song is probably my favorite. Want Me Dead. I love that song. The hook is crazy. Overall, I think it was a really good project. The Metro's version with the Money song with Nicki Minaj and Juice WRLD is absolutely, that beat is probably the beat of 2023 right now and might be the track of the summer right now. I feel like that shit is going crazy. It slaps. The mastering on that song, you could tell that it's much louder. It's meant to be slapped. It's meant to be played all summer long. It was a really good album. That's kind of my initial thoughts. What did you think when you first listened to the album?
All right, so I have this thing. If y'all don't know the T Swift shit, it's the reference. But so I first listened to Business is Business. Was it Friday? Well, going into Friday evening, right? Or Friday morning, I should say. And I knew it was coming out, so I stayed up. And I was a little tired, so I didn't get to go through everything. I got most of it. I got the gist of it. I'm guilty of. I watched one of my favorite YouTubers, shout out Complex Ambition, react to it, like while I'm reacting to it. So like when he likes a song, I'll be like, damn, I kind of fuck with that bar. Like he'll like be like, damn, that's a fucking hard ass bar. This is what he's like trying to say. Then I'll go and listen to it on my own after. And granted, like on YouTube, you can't play the entirety of the song, like the entire fucking album on a reaction. Like it's just you can't. They will strike your shit. You will not make money. But first time listening to it like without a reactor or somebody on the back end, obviously, bro, first things first, like first song, bro. And if y'all aren't listening to your albums in order, like you're just fucking tweaked. Like you wouldn't have heard the Gunna Fuck You Mean transition to Rodeo Drive. Rodeo Drive, I should say. And the Parade on Cleveland, I mean, to start the album, it had the perfect interlude vibes. And I was like, bro, what the fuck? I honestly wanted to, I just literally wanted to like find Drake and punch him in the face. Cause I'm like, what the fuck is like, what is going on? Like he gets on the track and it doesn't miss. He just never misses.
He said it ain't gonna be sexy when I get my lick back. Like, bro, how is he out here talking shit to niggas and singing at the same time like a fucking nighttime melody? I don't understand, bro. How does he make that shit sound hard? It's crazy.
I don't know, man. I will say though, like, and I haven't been to see, the thing is, and I also do a good job of staying off of TikTok when new albums that I'm really excited for come out, where I don't get influenced really hard by like the tracks that people are gonna bang and do dances to and like tweet to. I did hit it with the Gunna one because that's how the Fuck You Mean song I got really excited about. Not fully excited. I was already excited about it when I first heard it, but either or. I really, really enjoyed the Drake features. Like I said, my favorite song on the album right now is between, and I love Travis Scott, so I can't say that those two, so that I just be completely biased. But Abracadabra do be hit.
Abracadabra's crazy.
It's just so fucking funny.
My diamond's bigger, you can't see me like I'm Casper.
Hellcat Kenny, if you listen to that beat, it's like a demonic beat. It's like it's like he is like him and Uzi, and Uzi got that, like, we be thinking he'd be on that demon shit. He definitely is, but he's one of the nicest people in the world. It's so weird. But like it's like Hellcat Kenny, I'ma fuck your bitch. It's just
yeah,
it's like crazy. I'm like, it's like you're a creep. It looks like if I'm like imagining like just creeping down the sidewalk in a weird, like cartoonish type way, but it's like kind of hard.
Jonesboro is I
really fuck with that. Yes, and so like it was a good project, right? And I know the guy I watched, Complex Ambition, gave it an 8, I believe. Like if I had to rate it on a out of 10 scale, I'd probably be somewhere in that range. Granted, like I'm skewed, like I'm a little. The rating is a little bit skewed because like 2023 has been pretty disappointing with music in majority. I'd have to give it an 8.4. I give it a pretty solid rating. I wanted to be like 7.9 at first, 7.8. I've listened to it a couple of times now, and I've kind of gotten a little bit hooked on it. And I give it a solid 8.4, 8.3. You can interchange depending on what you're feeling. Just an all-around good project, great features. Young Thug really shows once again that he's just a genius when it comes to who needs to be on what track. He knows what beats people can ride with. He knows how I'm gonna get people to get lit to this shit. He knows what I'm gonna be feeling and saying and drinking when I'm listening to shit at a pregame. Like he already knows. The script is written. He wrote the motherfucking script. Young Thug, this Rico case, the best motherfucking publicity he's ever got in his life.
So then get messy. Get messy, because he's projected to do 110K first week. Gunna did 85, 88K first week. No features, no promotion. Get messy. How are you comparing the two albums? Who did it better?
Dude, it's so tough. Because like this, right? I've got the albums put up on my phone right now. Like I've got Gunna's album. I'm gonna go to Gunna's album really quick. Give me a second, cause I'm telling you the streak of like 4 songs on his album, and I believe it starts with. I want to say it starts with "Fuck You Mean," and it just rolls, and I'm like, that shit is so perfect. Yeah, it starts at "Fuck You Mean," right? And then you obviously have that little transition where your body, like your body your soul leaves your body when he transitioned to Rodea. I don't know back on Rodea. I cannot sit here and say that shit didn't have me like wow, like just wow. Like, I am a stand for transitions. You got a good transition within the album,
I
and I
didn't
have it
even
like
notice the
blended.
song changed at first.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. And it's just like a beautiful transition. It goes from "Fuck You Mean" to Rodeo Drive to "Bottom," which I fuck with so heavy, to "P Angels." And then you hit "Born Rich," where it kind of like drops a little bit in terms of like how that music, that type of like flow is going. 4 songs in a row where it's just like flow. Like it is literally, you could see where he's trying to go. But if I'm talking about who did better, respectfully, Young Thug is doing numbers on this because Young Thug's one got a Rico case, which is hyping up, and Gunna dropped this album before him. 2, Drake's on it. Period. Like it doesn't matter. Like he could drop 2 songs with Drake and the shit would do numbers.
Everybody and their
Like
grandmas
it
on
doesn't
it.
exactly. So he's got that, but Gunna doing 85. Well, you said project 80, 85, 88. He did 85, 88, somewhere around that range.
Yeah.
Like,
No
bro,
features, no promotion.
absolutely no
Not
features,
even a
no
lead off
promotions,
single or anything. That's impressive.
and then I think like I don't know who was on the producing exactly. Like I don't know what credits he had at the bottom. Like, hold up,
But he didn't
it's
have
still
Metro.
obviously what
So
he didn't have Metro. Like, dude, Young Thug pulled out all the stops, and like we talked about it last week, and you guys could go watch the other pod or listen to the other pod about how we think it might be like a setup, like for publicity's sake, and if it did, it worked. To sell almost 200 million copies or projected 200 million copies in the first weeks of like in total between the first weeks of the albums, respectively, I should say. Insane amounts of money. Un, unbiasedly and like from a completely like neutral standpoint, Gunna beats Young Thug in this. And I'm saying that, and I think I
why
would
so?
bang Thug's album. I would bang Thug's album more than Gunna's, but it's the fact that Gunna was able to perform and tell a legitimate story. Like he was telling it his story, and definitely certain songs and certain stints throughout the album about what he's been going through and his situation
I
right
hear
now.
you.
Thug
I
kind
hear
of,
you. But at the same
yeah.
time, Thug's locked up. The only reason why Gunna could tell a story is because he fucking snitched on my bro. And he's free out here writing raps. Thug has had his shit. He's locked up. He's picking up songs that are already been worked on, already been recorded, and he's having people help him piece together an album. So it's a little different. And but I will give Gunna more credit for what he was able to achieve
No
because
features, bro.
no features, no
None.
promotion, not a big lead off single. Like Bread and Butter was fire, but Atlanta wouldn't even listen to it. We saw him in the club, they wouldn't listen to it. So no features, no.
And I want to mention one thing before you get into your reasoning. I do one thing. Thug or Gunna sounds sober too. Like he doesn't sound like he's off the shits. Like he's not slurring the same way he does, and he's still flowing the same like that. I mean, it's clean, bro. It's clean. Nobody rides a beat like him, and I'm telling. I will say that, and I will die on that hill. Go ahead.
Yeah, so like I said, I'm going to give Gunna more credit, but when I really think about, and when I first listened to it, so when I first heard Young Thug and Gunna's albums, off of first listens only, Gunna caught the dub for me. Off of first listens, Gunna caught the dub because it was just one, I didn't know what to expect from Gunna, and he really impressed me with how he came, the flows, the melodies,
Oh, he
like you
came
said.
and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, and the way he was able to, he made us feel the album we could feel that my nigga just ratted and nobody fucks with him no more. And he had to deliver, because if Gunna didn't deliver on this album, career trajectory is not looking too good for my boy. Not at all. Like, if he didn't, this album was a must. He needed to hit on this album, or it could have been really bad for Gunna and just a downhill trajectory. But at the same time, and I know Young Thug, he called out the Avengers. He got all the superheroes possible: Flash, Spider-Man, Thor, Hulk, everybody he could think of to be on this album and help him fight Thanos, who is Gunna in this case, I suppose. But they did that shit. They did that shit. And there was so many different ranges in sound and, you know, lyricism, flow, and every single person that came up there feature-wise with Drake, they gave us something different. I was not expecting an intro of Drake to come in and just start harmonizing. I didn't, you know, when 21 came in on Want Me Dead, that song was crazy. Jonesboro, I also thought it was clever how they picked a song where it kind of could have sounded like Thug was rapping about Gunna, even though it was recorded before the Rico case. But, you know, it's going to get people talking. So I just think as far as replay value goes, and the more I listen to Thug's album, the more I'm like, oh, okay, there's going to be slappers that are going to be here, not just for the summer, but there are going to be slappers up there that you're going to hear, you're going to be walking around during the fall still going on. So that's why I'll lean to more Young Thug's album. So, like I was saying, I think Young Thug's album we're gonna hear about this in the fall. Those songs are gonna come in the fall, and I know Fuck You Mean is gonna be around. People are loving Fuck You Mean. It's right now, it's the #1 stream song, rap song on Apple Music and Spotify. So, you know, that shit's going crazy.
What about Tidal?
Don't nobody know what the fuck's going on at Tidal, bro. Jay-Z, he done sold that company. Don't nobody even know what's going on over there at Tidal.
Oh my God.
But it kind of leads me to believe, because, you know, the crazy thing is, we were just talking about how there's been no music all 2023. We were also talking about how there hasn't been a single rap album to hit #1 on the Billboard this year. And, you know, Thug has a chance to hit #1, but apparently Morgan Wallen's is going to be a tough challenge.
Dude, bro, I'm so sick of this shit, bro.
Morgan
so
Wallen
sick of this.
He be killing that. I don't know. I've never listened to his music, but his streams be up there.
It was the Little Dirk feature that got him. It's the Little Dirk feature that got him, bro. And I was banging that shit, so I can't even like hate completely.
So we now got Gunna and Young Thug in a span of a week. We were told Pink Tape is coming Thursday at midnight, which is Lil Uzi. In case you didn't know, he dropped his trailer, which I'm a huge fan of these new like movie trailers for albums. They look really cool.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking dope. Really crazy artwork, anime going on by Uzi and his camp. They killed it. They knocked it out of the park. I'm stoked. I saw it's 26, 27 tracks though. That kind of turns me off personally. Like, I hate when they have
that's a motherfucking Chris Brown shit, bro.
But we also got today Utopia, July 21st. It's coming.
I'm lit.
It's lit. We got Drake for All the Dogs. He announced that his album is coming. So, you know, they're coming. The people are here. You know, I don't know if we'll get J. Cole's this summer, but the Fall Off is coming. Carter 6 is coming. Hopefully we get that in the summer as well. The people are coming. The Avengers are assembling. They are dropping music all at once, all right here in the summer. And the only thing I can sit back here and think about is like, when did it feel like this the last time? And the last time it felt like this was all summer 16. All summer 16. And, you know, personally, I don't even know how you feel about this because, you know, we haven't gotten all the music yet. So we're not sure just how much this is going to bang. But apparently, these are long-awaited albums. Uzi's Pink Tape has been working on for years. People have been waiting on it.
Utopia, If that shit, I'm telling you, bro. If that, it won't miss because Travis. I'm gonna be honest. Travis Scott with these long ass wait times. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off because you know I'm a
Go
Travis
for it.
stan. I got to speak on it, bro. If this shit somehow misses, it won't. It will be one of the biggest letdowns, like probably in the last decade of like rap hip hop music in lead up time.
It's not going to miss. That's not even
like,
something
dude,
I'm sweating.
He hasn't even, dude. I'm like, hold up, 1 second. I gotta go look at this really quick. I'm gonna pull up his discography really quick. Just speaking on Travis, because Uzi has a potential to miss with 20-something songs. It's just what it is. I mean, you are not gonna drop 20 plus, and if he does, bro, like that's what we can talk about on that end. It's like if he somehow creates a project, Uzi, of 20 plus songs that people actually want to listen to, not a Chris Brown tape where it's like, okay, you got 10 songs in here where we fuck with, but there's like 40 other songs in here. Like, bro, scrap that shit. Like, you paid features for this shit. Like, it ain't worth it.
Even if the full length project is not like as cohesive as we would like, Uzi's given us 3 to 4 hits, just certified hits off that we gonna be running it up. So I'm not sweating that. I'm not sweating Travis. Travis has not missed once yet. I don't expect him to miss now, especially after everything he's went through. This is like Gunna it's not a must for Travis. It's still Travis, and he does what he does. But like you said, it's long anticipated. He needs a hit, a miss right here. He would feel that, but a hit, he needs it. And Drake coming with his album
for his tour.
Drake he can do no wrong. All these people can drop their best album and they're still gonna have to take a back seat and watch Drake run it up, run those fucking numbers up. And he's probably gonna come up here for all the dogs, just start singing some bullshit, and numbers still gonna run it up. But I want to ask you, man, because personally, with all these big names coming all at once at the summer, all I can really think of is, can Summer 23 rival Summer 16 as far as music and hits? Potentially, because we haven't heard the music yet, but potentially.
In terms of genuine like results being numbers, yes. But in terms of the music itself and how iconic some of those songs were and albums, I think it will be very, very difficult because of the range of music that we have now, right? And let me speak to this and an explanation behind it is that when you have such high hopes, so you have artists like Travis, the A-list motherfucker Drake, Uzi. You've obviously got these 2 past albums from Gunna and Young Thug. It's like a stepping stool or steps. Like steps, you get to the top of the steps, and that's like you reach the zenith, like you reach the top, whatever. Like hooray, reach the top of the mountain. Like Gunna and like Young Thug are building this platform because you obviously have all this beef and this drama around what's happening with them. And like obviously there's no really like a ton of drama around Drake, Uzi, Travis, not too much, not a crazy amount like it is a whole ass Rico case and somebody ratting. But it's like, dude, it's either gonna be like right there, it has the potential to be like right there, or it has to be like so phenomenal where it's like, okay, that is better than Summer 16. That is legitimately how I see it.
Here's
like,
why I think it has a chance.
Go ahead.
I think it has a chance because Pink Tape, so the albums, we're not just getting albums. And, some people might be hearing this and thinking that I'm comparing it to Summer 16 because we got big names and Summer 16 gave us, big names and big albums. But it's not just the names alone. These are long anticipated albums that we're getting all at once. Like, it's not like we're just getting a Travis Scott album. We're getting Travis Scott's Utopia that we've been waiting on and that got, pushed back since after he was killing niggas because his concerts and his performances are just so fire. And, I just feel like the albums that we're getting, the anticipation behind them, Joe Budden, he's heard some of Pink Tape a long time ago. He said that it's potentially Uzi's Thriller album. So, there's a lot of, and there's money in there. You saw the trailers. These aren't cheap albums. They're, the labels are pushing money back. These are like movies dropping. Like, I guarantee you, Travis Scott and Uzi's music videos are going to be produced like movies and TV shows. They're going to be fire. I wouldn't be surprised if there's some kind of like short film coming out of whatever they do. You know, music is growing rapidly and the marketing behind it is just, it's blowing my mind these days. So I think, you know, I think if it's not even a comparison, then it's a letdown. Because it's just too many big names. It's too many big names at this point. I know Drake's going to give me what he's going to give me. Gunna came hard with no features.
Yeah, man. He came everywhere.
And, Thug, whoa, all right. Thug came. Okay, I gotta stop using the word. Thug dropped some crazy shit. You know, he dropped with all the Avengers. Is basically a Metro Boomin collab album at this point. So you know that was a hit. Gunna was a hit. Dirk missed, in my opinion. I don't go back to the Dirk album.
That nigga bricked as hard as Russell Westbrook, bro. He did not hit.
He out here on academics talking shit about Gunna and had the worst album of the three of them. Like, his shit missed. Only reason why his album did
E12, the only album.
He got J. Cole and he got Morgan Wallen. And that's the only reason why his album's still spinning right now. If he didn't have All My Life, that album would have flopped heavy, yo. J. Cole saved his ass. And them little kids saved his ass. But yeah, so there's just too many big names, and there's still, those are just the names that we confirmed were coming. There's still albums that we know are coming this year, and we just not sure if it's going to be this summer or not. But like I said, ASAP's working on an album. If we get that this summer, we could potentially get that this summer. J. Cole's working on an album. We could potentially get that this summer. Carter 6 coming. You know, if Carter 6 drops during the summer, I'm not listening to nobody else. Nobody else. And if Carter 6 drops, listen to me right here.
Oh, that shit dropped?
Listen to me right here. If Carter 6 drops, people, I don't want you to say, I don't want to hear, let's have a music segment. When you tune into the pod and you think you're about to get a music segment, you ain't getting that shit. You getting a Lil Wayne segment, and then that's music. It's over with. I'm not talking about nobody else.
We gonna come on here and be like, yo, like, you want to talk about Travis? No.
We're gonna have a 2-hour Lil Wayne Carter 6. Nah, I'm tripping.
We're gonna break down every motherfucking lyric. You hear what he said here? These 3 words together. It's a quadruple entendre. Already. But I mean, look, man, I think it has the ability to rival 2016. Like, 2016 was a magical year. Obviously, it was peak time for us. We were, you know, going into sophomore year of college for us. It was it was literally like, it was for our lives in particular. It couldn't have been a better time for us personally.
Yeah, definitely. It's the peak of music, I think, as we were growing.
Hip hop music, at least.
Hip hop
music. And I think that, you know, even tracking back a little bit here and thinking back to Gunna and Young Thug's album. Young Thug's trying to bring that summer heat. Like, and I got to give him his props on that. Gunna was not trying to necessarily bring like this crazy heat where you're just going to be like, these are the shit we're going to bang in the club type shit.
Gunna was trying not to get shot up.
Yeah.
If he steps out the house.
His armored cars, that's, and I thought it was ironic that somehow, like, obviously this is just scraps of prior to Young Thug being in the Rico case, but I thought it was like with the Cars Bring Me Out song, he's like, yeah, Cars Bring Me Out. And it's like, damn, this nigga Gunna, the whole album was talking about how he had to armor up all his fucking cars. I'm like, damn, the cars bring you out. And this nigga talking about, I'll come out with the cars. That's the only reason I'm coming outside, is to just chill and ride around. So, I mean, it's a phenomenal time in music. I'm really pleased with the last couple of weeks. I've actually found a lot of, even like in like the Smart Shuffle, which I love on Spotify. I've been finding like some new artists like bringing new stuff out, and it's like cool. You know, like I feel like everybody's kind of finding a sound now, and like it's becoming the sounds once again evolving.
Yep.
Right, in terms of the hip hop game, and that's that's what happens. Like that's what Summer 16 was. Summer 16 was sounds evolving. Like, okay, we really like this as the public. This is what we're going to get from hip hop music now. Like we had Birds in the Trap sing McKnight, which obviously like was like a Travis Scott stan, absolutely banger album, and it's underrated in my opinion. And I think like you think about what we're gonna get from like Gunna's album. I think Gunna or what we got from Gunna's album and Young Thug's album, the amount of features that are gonna be on these albums are gonna be disgusting. Like it should be. Like it should literally be like, bro, we put 10, 15 bands in this motherfucker. Like this shit better run numbers and it's gonna run numbers. You're gonna see Future just like, bro, it's gonna be like a fuck up some commas type shit. I know that wasn't 2016, but it's gonna be that type of shit. He could be on track going crazy. You're gonna have Travis like also back to your Drake point. I know I'm kind of rambling a bit, but if these niggas don't want to keep fighting Drake when they're dropping their albums, bro, stop getting on these features for this nigga and like hopping on his tracks and helping them. Like this
What
nigga
do you mean?
really be
That's
like
literally, if you look at any fucking rapper's #1 hit, it's their Drake feature.
I know, bro, but they want to have a #1 hit and they're like, damn, I can't do it without Drake, which is a crazy superpower. Now that nigga Drake is Thanos. I don't give a fuck what nobody says. He is Thanos, and Metro Boomin as a producer is the only one that could ever even compare to taking him down if you ever went against him as a producer. Ain't no nigga in the game right now could take that dog down. He could drop whatever the fuck he wants. He could drop a fucking lullaby, bro, and that shit will be #1. Yeah, #1. And niggas and grown ass gangster ass niggas will be banging that shit. Banging it, picking their kids up from daycare, riding the kids around, taking them to the grocery store. Then when you gonna go to sleep tonight? I mean, and I'm telling you, I'm excited, man. I cannot fucking wait. Like, I'm personally not the biggest Uzi fan in the world, but I do like Uzi's music. And I respect Uzi, and he's always a really good feature for me. Like, he does a really good job featuring on tracks.
Yeah.
When he does do some solo songs, they're either hit or miss, and that's my opinion. Some other people vibe with him differently. It's the same way I feel about like Trippy. Trippy's the same way. Like Trippy gets on a track and he could go crazy, or it's gonna be like, what the fuck is going on, bro? Like he gonna kind of try to murder me. And I hope Don Toliver finds a way to drop like a little surprise EP this summer. That would be great. I would really enjoy that. I am a big Don Toliver fan. So he'll definitely be on Travis's album though, which I'm excited about. Him and Travis collabing is great. But yeah, man, it's gonna be a fucking hell of a ride. I can't wait. Y'all gonna see all the reactions, all the tea from us talk about the music industry, because you know that might honestly be an entire day. If they drop in the like close vicinity, we might just push back the pod a day and be like, yo, hey, let's get this shit thorough and like rip a crazy look. I mean, and by the way, I know next Tuesday for the folks that are in the United States that are listening to us is Independence Day. That being said, I wouldn't expect a track from us, or Jesus, think we dropping an album. I wouldn't expect an episode from us coming on next Wednesday, but we'll see what we can do. We'll see what's going on. Yeah, we can fit and Monday I'm gonna be working from home. So we can definitely figure something out on that and the things.
Your manager listens to this, my boy.
Hey, my manager does not listen to this, my guy. Okay. I promise. I make sure like my coworker, like my higher ups, don't listen to it. But that being said, we could talk all day about music. We could talk about that in particular, because I'm fucking pumped. Like I am stoked. I love music. I could just act ignorant as fuck in the car too, or just vibe too. If you guys didn't know, and culture is culture, and BET is probably the mecca of black culture. Pop culture is typically aligned with black culture. This BET Awards coming, I believe it's this weekend. Am I right?
It just happened.
Just happened. Sorry, Jesus Christ, my brain just farted. Just happened. Was just recently hosted by Tyler Perry, who actually is the new owner, if those that didn't know, and I think this is a little while ago, but didn't know that Tyler Perry is the new owner of BET. With me, I didn't go into details of watch it. I'll be 100%. I'm usually pretty good about researching, understanding what's going on exactly. I want to get Mike's thoughts on it, just from the overarching view of things. Question I have here, and I'll go and answer it quick because I can't elaborate on too much. We know award shows have been kind of lackluster as of late, especially with the world of streaming and how important it is to have your stuff on streaming platforms. Granted, you could stream BET too. But the question is can Big TP, Tyler Perry, bring back the award shows game like it used to be in the glory days? My answer to that is, knowing Tyler Perry, his artistry and his genius, making, quite frankly, one of the most well-known black shows that I know, being Tyler Perry's House of Pain. I mean, like, if you are black,
Curtis, he's probably my favorite Tyler Perry character ever made.
Yeah. I mean, dude, if you are a black fella or gal and you have not watched the show, and if you're white, like, watch it. Hell yeah. Like, it's a great show. But, like, I know you are not black. Like, I watched just a side note before I get to my very last point here. I've been watching these guys called the Beta Squad, also on YouTube, out of the UK. And they steal ideas from Jubilee, which is another YouTube channel. I'm just throwing haymakers right now. And they did like a 6 versus 1 secret black person, and these guys are all black. Beta Squad's all black guys. One guy's a mixed race, but he's half black, half white. So he's black. And they were like, they're blindfolded and whatever, and all the other white people are trying to figure out who the black person. The black person's trying to impersonate a white person, whatever. If they said, "Yo, have you ever watched that show? It's called like House of Pain, Tyler Perry," and you say, "Yeah," you are the nigga. You are the nigga. And I think Tyler Perry,
you're welcome to the cookouts.
You are welcome to the cookouts. You will have some type of banter to go back and forth with us, and you will not get too butthurt.
You might be able to say nigga one time.
Facts. You might get that black car.
I'll give you the pass, 50. But just because I give you the pass, if another black person hear you say nigga and knock your dumb ass out, I'm not gonna come in there and help you. I gave you the pass, not him. So I'm doing. I'm not gonna be the one.
I'm the motherfucking hall monitor, bro. You can't go out there with little Jimmy or with DeAndre in the hallway being the hall monitor and say that shit, because he'll knock your ass out too and go to get it suspended.
Yeah, and I'm gonna back him up.
But and that being said, I have so much respect for Tyler Perry. One of the very few black men that has moved in entertainment, like, it helped a lot of black actors and actresses get into the scene. And not even that, he's taken on the mecca of black culture, the mecca of pop culture, being BET. And award show wise, I think, from my understanding, like, having not watched this past award show, I know that he has the ability and will continue to make sure that they're putting out the best product possible to their viewers. I
really hope so, days. Because in case you're anyone out there who's listening is unaware, Tyler Perry was in a battle to purchase BET with none other than P. Diddy. It was between P. Diddy and Tyler Perry. Now, I think from BET is a TV channel. So from a TV shows, movies perspective, obviously Tyler Perry is more equipped to be the owner from that regard. It's already pretty much a Tyler Perry fucking channel. It's all Madea shows. It's all Tyler Perry shows left and right. And it's probably not slowing down anytime soon since he owns it now. But from a award show and getting that kind of culture, that kind of vibe back to BET again, I thought P. Diddy might have been the better choice in terms of just kind of making it more hip and getting young people back into BET. Not to say that I don't think Tyler Perry will do a good job, because I think he did do a good job. I didn't sit down and watch the BET Awards. So I guess he's still got some work to do to make it like a must-see TV thing. I honestly didn't know that it was coming up. There wasn't too much promo that reached me that it was coming up like that. But I did see some highlights of it, and I thought Ice Spice performance, and I could kind of tell that there's some more money going into the the stage and everything, how it was being set up. It looked really good, clean. She did a really good job. She's really working. And one thing I appreciate about Ice Spice is she's actually rapping. She's not on this lip syncing type stuff. She's not over here just letting a track in the background go. She's spitting real breath control, real MC work while she's doing her performance. That's a thumbs up for me. Obviously, Chief Keef was finally able to perform at BT, and that's Tyler Perry's doing it. That's a big deal. That's a big deal. You know, Chief Keef, after everything he's done for the game, the culture, you know, music in itself from a rap's perspective, he's able to come out there and just be himself. And I like too that he was just Chief Keef on the stage. If you saw when they were in the back, when they were backstage and they came out the car, they hotboxed the tour bus, that shit was smoky, bro. I saw some tweet said my bro was so high he still walked out with the charger. He had the charger dangling from the phone. But nah, it was really good. I thought there was a lot of good stuff going on there. There's a little Uzi JT kind of beef going on. JT was mad because of the whole Ice Spice ordeal and whatnot. I don't know if it was because he said that when JT's wig comes off, she got a little fro and looked like Ice Spice, which was kind of foul. That's how I know this next album. That was a line in one of his new songs for Pink Tape. I know that album's gonna be fire. He out here talking about his bitch like that. I'm like, yo, you are wildin', son. He just said your little fro look like Ice. Nah, he wildin'. But I think it's gonna be really good. I think Tyler Perry can do big things for BET. I would love to see him bring in P. Diddy from an award show, a music perspective, kind of in like an executive position, and allow him to have the reins over the BET Awards and stuff like that, because I do think P. Diddy would turn BET out. That shit would be popping again. Niggas would be tuning in. And P. Diddy he's still in the game like that. He's got the touch of the young kid's perspective still, because he's still moving that way. Tyler Perry is very, very buttoned up, very business executive like. From a TV show's perspective, he's he's a vet in the game, so he knows like what people want from a content of television perspective. But I don't really know that Tyler Perry knows what's going on musically out there. Like, I'm sure he's got like some music taste, but I don't think he's the guy that I would want to, you know, have that full power in that way. So I would like to see him kind of dish that out, give it to P. Diddy, and I think that BET can get back to where it was, because BET used to be my favorite award show, hands down. I didn't fuck with the Grammys. I didn't fuck with the Oscars. BET's was a shit because it had the people I wanted to see and the performances that I wanted to see, and I didn't have to sit through none of that other bullshit along the way. So that's my 2 cents.
Well, they don't have like a skewed view, man. Like, I mean, with the BET Awards, I mean, I'm being 1000% honest with you. Like, for my mom to sit here and watch the BET Awards with the way that it is now, like, my mom's not someone that's into like super hip hoppy music, like rap. Like, that's just not her. That's not her gig. But like, she's cultured enough to like, listen to it and like give it a shot. And like, the reason that particularly black folks watch BET Award, not because it's just a black entertainment television, it's because for years and years and years, the Grammys, the Emmys, like, these committees are ran by idiots, bro. And they don't understand what culture is. They're ran by old white people. And I'm not trying to be fucking bringing up the race card. They're ran by old white people. They literally they're out of touch. BET Awards is ran by the people that know what the fuck is going on. Like, they know what's going on in the world. They could tell you the latest TikTok. They could tell you what the latest trend is in pop culture. They could tell you the latest album and was that shit fire? What have the streets been saying about it? They could talk to you about the RICO case that Young Thug is having. Like, bro, the Grammys wouldn't even like utter that.
Yeah.
And so I think Tyler Perry, yes, I agree with you, should be able to bring P. Diddy in on some of this aspect of the music side, because it is a very important piece of culture, point blank period. and it's what brings people together more often than not, they could definitely be a there'll probably be some point in the ownership of Tyler Perry that he'll, because I know he's a majority owner, just like how Michael Jordan was majority owner of the Hornets, but he sucked at it. Tyler Perry's not going to suck at it. And there will be a time that Tyler Perry, I think, will give leeway a lot of the power to P. Diddy. He won't let him become majority because he ain't just going to let that shit happen. I promise. But I definitely think there's going to be some collaboration there that's going to continue to grow that channel and that brand even more, because they're both two of the most influential men in particularly the Black community and what they've been able to do on that and things. And I think it's fantastic. I think we're going to see in the next 5 years how everything going to trends up as music changes, in particular, and as culture changes. So I'm excited for it. I definitely think it's something that we should all be looking out for. White, black, green, or yellow.
Yeah, I agree.
So in that same note, we're bouncing around a lot tonight, and I like it. I like it. We only got a couple more topics for you, but the next topic, man, I don't have to do. We might be on this shit for a goddamn minute. I ain't gonna sit here and lie to you.
This might be a long episode.
The NBA roster mania that is going on at this very moment, bro. Like the Nuggets just won the championship. Like, damn. There's a lot that's been going on, and Mike, I know, like, you and I have talked privately about it, and we talk every week now as the NBA, because the NBA offseason is lit. It is fucking lit. So much shit be going on. Not just the scandals, but just literally how the actual game and the teams are going to be moving. So, for those who don't know, Kristaps Porzingis was traded to the Celtics, while Mr. Chris Paul, Mr. No Ring and Can't Win a Ring, was traded to the Warriors. While Marcus Smart, the heart and soul of the Boston Celtics, in my opinion, the leader of that team, the Energizer Bunny, the person they needed to be, he is the X factor to the Grizzlies, another grimy ass team, grimy as hell. He gonna fit in like a goddamn glove. Just out of those three moves, and if there's any other moves you want to highlight, I don't think there is at the moment. I'd love to get your thoughts on who had the best move. And really, right now, Mr. Damian Lillard, for those that don't know, the man that can't find a way to get a good damn team around him, has been growing some interest in joining a contender team, basically starting another super team. Where should he really go, Mike? I want to hear your thoughts first, man. I know this is something we're passionate about, and I am a lady for all the stuff that's going to continue after even this in terms of roster mania for the NBA this offseason.
NBA's probably got the craziest offseason of any sport. It's probably the most entertaining. When we think about like NFL offseason and trades, everyone's always like, yeah, that'd be cool, but this isn't Madden. But I'm like, when it comes to NBA, it's like 2K. Like, it's really be like 2K. Like, people be bouncing it to stars. Like, it's fun. It keeps things fresh. I personally still enjoy the days where everyone just kind of stayed put, and trades, big time trades were like second to none, and it was a big splash when it happened. But I still think this is exciting too, and it makes for good storylines. But as far as which trade was the best one from a basketball perspective and who I think really got better, I think, to me, it's easy. I think the Celtics getting Porzingis is clearly the best move that's happened so far, is, if anything, of just getting better. When I think about what plagued the Celtics, and I know you said Marcus Smart is the heart.
Fucking Horford.
Bum ass fucking exfoliated, beautiful ass skin. Dude,
Beautiful skin. Beautiful.
It's
skin.
wild. He looks like
that boy.
He looks like when Squidward just kept getting beat in the face.
Squidward. Bro, I'm telling you, and I'll let you finish your point. I am telling you, bro, he spends more time at getting facials, and I'm not talking about the facials y'all think I'm talking about. We talking about the cosmetics, uh, the cosmetic facials than he does shooting a basketball. I'm telling you. I am telling you, bro, with that broke ass jump shot. But go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, so I feel like from a basketball perspective, the Celtics definitely got better. So why I feel like they got better. I know you say Marcus Smart is the heart and soul of the team, and I agree with you from a leadership perspective, from a get them juiced up, an energized perspective as well. But I also think Marcus Smart was a liability in a lot of cases. Like, he's a great defender, a lockdown defender. But as your primary point guard, I mean, sometimes you get the assist there, but I feel like he's not like a true. He doesn't feel like a true point guard to me. Like, he doesn't feel like he's
He's a
always
six man. He's a six man come off the bench guy.
He's yeah,
man.
and
Like,
I think that's a better role for him. Or in just like a grimy perspective, what the Celtics needed out of Marcus Smart, I don't think he could give them. They needed Marcus Smart to play like Chris Paul, really, where he's just kind of dishing it out, putting Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown into better situations so they can get easier shots and not have to do a bunch of one-on-one ISOs, which is all the Celtics do, is just let Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown ISO the ball.
But don't let Jaylen Brown go to his left. Don't let him go to his left.
Don't let him go to his left, bro. Don't let him go to his left. But now Kristaps, the spacing and the size of that team. So now when they see people like potentially Joker in the finals, or they have to go against Giannis and Joel Embiid, they can space the floor out a lot. They still got Robert Williams, who's a rim protector, maybe, and Kristaps had quietly his best season of his career from a defensive perspective, from a three-point shooting perspective.
Nigga was just on one of the worst teams in the NBA.
And that's probably why. But the way they can dish that ball out, the way they can move the court around, I feel like Jason Tatum's going to get easier looks. I feel like Jaylen Brown's going to get easier looks. The load, from an offensive perspective, the load has been taken off of them. I feel like from a defensive perspective, Robert Williams can go in there, clash the glass, and whatever gets past him, Kristaps has a good chance of stopping it too. So I think that's the best trade so far.
Well, and we'll get to the Dame thing in a second too, but obviously I'm excited about a couple other moves that are coming around, and I'll talk about the Kristaps and the best move here in a second. I know the Draymond situation is getting a little sketchy for the Warriors. I know they're kind of like shitting themselves. I think he'll still come back, but I think, and I agree with you, I think, and I see it from two different angles. I don't think the Warriors necessarily got better. I think the Warriors just became a little bit more well-rounded in terms of what the roles are, very definitive roles now, where there's no like.
And they had
confusion.
to get rid of Jordan Poole. Like, let's be honest.
Well, and they knew that was definitely, quite frankly, if they were going to re-sign, if they were going to re-sign Draymond did not want to be on the team because he couldn't lead. He expressed he couldn't lead the team the same way, which I'm fine with that. But like I said, I do agree that the Kristaps move at the moment is the best move of the offseason. I also think that Marcus Smart going to the Grizzlies, and going to the West, where it's becoming a little bit more even across the board in terms of the West and the East now over the past season or two. West, I still think it has an edge in terms of talent overall, like up and down the conference. But Marcus Smart going to the Grizzlies, a place where they accept you being like super grimy. The Boston Celtics did too, right? They get down dirty and like, do whatever. But that's the thing that the Grizzlies personally needed, man. They don't legitimately have a leader. Like, they don't have someone like if John Morant.
They don't have no goddamn leader. Are you kidding me?
If John Morant's their leader, bro, there is a real problem with people. They have a real leader with that's actually played in a finals, like with a really young team that is extremely talented and has the ability to probably eventually get to the finals and even have a chance to win it depending on their opponent.
The only thing that gives me pause about the Grizzlies is that they had to give up Tyus. And I personally think that I'm a big fan of Tyus. I think he's a hooper, and he's gonna play really well alongside Jordan Poole for the Wizards. I think they'll win some.
The Wizards are going to be good. The Wizards are going to be like I think they're probably a 6 seed next season, somewhere 6-7, which is good for them. Big improvement from this year. But to the Kristaps point, you know why I think that's the best move, and I think it's going to be the best move of the offseason unless Dame goes somewhere fucking crazy.
Which you will, but we'll get to that.
Yeah, bro, that shit gonna piss me off. But unless it's the Warriors, but that would be wild. Kristaps is the best move, and I think it will be the best move aside from a Dame move this offseason because the Celtics like running a too big lineup. And the reason I say that is because when they ran the too big lineup this past playoffs, they had Rob Williams, who's offensively challenged, to say the least, can't make free throws, but he's one of the best rim defenders in the game. One of the best rebounders in the game. Granted, he's 7'1". You should be good at doing that, but he's good at it either way. He's doing what he's supposed to do. But then they had Al Horford, who was supposed to be their stretch 4, right? But the stretch 4. Every team needs a stretch 4 nowadays. If you don't have a stretch 4, you're kind of losing. And that's something that the Warriors had to find too, which will definitely increase their game as a team. But now Kristaps can really be banging, bro. Kristaps can bang from the 3. Like, if Jaylen Brown has one of those off nights, or Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum have one of those off nights that they fucking do, like, because they're just young and somewhat inconsistent, bro, Kristaps just be banging, bro. Like, oh, I'm open. Oh, shit. Pull up. Like, I mean, and it's just effortless.
And he's a third option. He gets the luxury of being a third option.
That's the thing. And it's like, that takes a lot of pressure off of Kristaps' shoulders because even when he was playing for the Knicks, when he came in the league, crazy because the hype around him was insane. Like, he was still really good. He just hadn't reached his full potential yet. He had all the pressure of being that guy. Like, Kristaps. And then it slowly dragged down when it's like, oh, you can't be that guy. You're going to be a second and third option. And then he was just being consistent at that point. When you have guys that can score like Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, 2 of, in my opinion, top 5 scorers in the game when they're on, I don't think there's really many people in the league that can legitimately guard both of them.
I think Tatum might be top 5, but Jaylen Brown's up there. No, top 5 is kind of pushing.
No, I said when they're on. Jaylen Brown can't go left, we know, but I'm sure he'll work on that this season.
That's a whole 50% side of the court there, my buddy.
Yes, but let him go right, and he's gonna cook your shit, and that's a fact. And I can't say that for myself. So Kristaps is going to allow them to stretch the floor, which is going to allow, because Jason and Jalen especially love to go and drive and put their heads down and get in the paint. If Rob Williams can space the floor enough, like just to get out of the way or like pin down or like whatever, because they're going to pin down screen. Like they're going to back him up. They're going to try to hedge Robert Williams. He's not going to fucking shoot. They're just hedging him to get back in front of him. Bro, he runs for a lob. Think about it. Like, think about if he comes to the right side, right elbow. JB comes from the right elbow. They do a left a left. So he'll be like this. So they're on the right elbow. He'll be to the left of Jaylen Brown. He'll screen left. Jaylen Brown's we know he's gonna cross over to his left hand. He'll cross back to his right immediately because he ain't staying on the left hand. Rob Williams can literally roll on his back to a little lob if he wanted to, and then Kristaps can cut to the rim the other way or stay in the fucking corner. It's a knockdown 3. Yep. It's literally it's the easiest ball movement they're ever going to see, and I'm excited to see how what's his face, the coach this year moves with them, and how he's going to be able to actually have them move the ball instead of fucking doing isolations all the goddamn time. Because that's why they fucking lose. If Jason doesn't put up 30 and Jalen doesn't put up 25, they lose. They're not going to win, bro. They don't have the firepower. And when they do win without that, it's because Al Horford decided to make a couple threes when he missed about 40-something in a row, which is just fucking insane to me.
Well, speaking of moving the ball, I want to kind of touch on the Warriors, the CP3 trade, and kind of, what the game plan, maybe what the thinking was behind this trade. Because I know I reached out to you immediately when it happened. I hit you up. I was like, bro, I don't know what to think. Or I think you hit me up, and I was I was like, what the fuck? I was like, I don't know what to think about this. My initial thought was this doesn't make any sense. It's not a need at all for the Warriors. But as I kind of had some time to sit on it, here's where I'm at now. I'm thinking if this is the move for the Warriors, it's an F. It's terrible. If this is the prerequisite to the next move, then this could potentially be huge for them. And why I say that is because, like I said, they had to get rid of Jordan Poole. There was no reconciling that situation at all. It was Poole or Draymond, and that's Draymond every single day, especially after the playoffs you just had. If you would have came up there and gave them that 20-piece like you were doing the year before in the finals run, it might have been different. Draymond might have been out the door because they might have thought you're the next guy, but you stunk the bed up and was the reason why they could not let Steph Curry get any rest, because anytime he got on the bench, you stunk that shit up, my nigga. You were turning the ball over. You couldn't slow down the game. You were shooting up fucking stupid ass shots. Took that one dumb ass shot when we all know that ball should have gone to Steph or Clay. And I don't even really want it to see to go to Clay this playoffs either. It should have just been Steph's ball. But can I play a clip real quick of Cameron's past podcast? It's Cameron's podcast, and he was talking about the real reason why Draymond fucking stuffed this nigga Jordan Poole in the face, and the reason why the Warriors had to get rid of him. It's real short. It's about 40 seconds. I just want to play this for you guys.
I was hearing him say not guaranteed, but they were saying there's reasons Draymond punched him in his face. They said the first day he told Draymond Green, Michigan and Michigan State have beef. Draymond Green's from Michigan State. He's from Michigan.
That's already a lifetime rivalry, right?
There. He told Draymond, I fuck more bitches in Michigan State than you went there. And then they was running sprints or something. He told Draymond, don't worry about it. You'll be in Sacramento next year. Then he told Draymond, then he told Draymond, why's your Twitter handle Money Green when you broke and you're not going to get a new contract? And that's the one that broke the camel's back when he ended up punching him in the face. So a lot of stuff.
So apparently that's what's happened. If that's the case, this nigga had to go, bro. He was feeling himself. He had the ring. He was averaging 20. People thought he was the next Steph. He was feeling himself, and bruh needed the clock in the face, and he needed to dip. So it's something that they had to do. But to dial it back to CP3 and how this could potentially work for them, I think, like I said, if this is the move, this is a terrible move. But if they get CP3, and what the Warriors really needed was size. If they get CP3 to run the second team, and you can convince them that you're gonna be coming off the bench running the second team, and you want that ring, don't you, Chris? You obviously can't do it when you're the starter, my bro. So we're gonna let Steph handle the fucking starting lineup. You get the second team, run that, and we're gonna bring in somebody like Brook Lopez. Brook Lopez would be such a fire fit for the Warriors. Somebody who can come in after Looney, still be an aggressive big, take on whoever's out there, but also space the core out and get you buckets. And imagine Brook Lopez playing with Steph, bro. The ball movement, the spacing, the shot making. Oh my God, small lineup with Brook Lopez. That would be a fire move. I think that, when Steph comes off the bench, or when Steph comes out of the game and goes on the bench, CP3 can keep them at a plateau rather than allowing them to just fall off a cliff like Jordan Poole was doing. I think CP3 can maintain the lead and, keep everything good. So from that perspective, I think it'll be all good.
I think that's a great point, and I did think about it, but I think that when it comes down to that, exactly, like I'm thinking of the lineup, right? I'm thinking of the starting, and I'm thinking of the second unit, right? Because they still have Kuminga, and I think they gotta activate him. Like the kid's a freak, like a freak athlete. And I get Steve Kerr's probably like, I get it. But like Looney's coming off the bench if they get Brook. Like, there's no way that he's starting over Brook Lopez, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think that lineup, if they get Draymond back, and I think, especially if they make a move for like that for Brook Lopez, bro, that could be a dangerous ass fucking team. That could be a team that's almost fucking unbeatable. Because if they stay healthy, and that's one of the things, is like when this Warriors stay healthy, they are like, it's almost impossible to just like count them out of anything. Just because they're that good of a team, they're that well coached, they understand what they have to do, they know their roles, etc. Your first team is gonna be Steph, Clay, obviously, Dre,
Wiggins, and Looney.
Wiggs, and Looney. Or no. First team, Brook Lopez. I think you interchange Looney and Brook Lopez in the Chris Paul lineups, because depends on where you're in the point of the game.
But I think Looney gets to start.
He'll get this, yeah, but he'll still play more minutes. Yeah, Brook will play more minutes than him. Yes.
Yeah.
I agree. That's a good point. But then you have your second team where you're gonna have Kuminga come in there, and I'm thinking of like more of a playoff lineup too. So you think of like 8 guys, maybe. Like Steve Kerr had to play like a 7-man bench this past postseason, which was fucking brutal. But like an 8-man team, you have Chris Paul, you'll have Clay like interchange. Kuminga will come in. I think he's got to play more. I don't know why he's not playing more, especially when it comes to defending. I think he's got to play more. Loon will be in there interchanging with Brook. And then you obviously have Draymond, and then you have Wiggs.
You also have Moody. You have Moses Moody, too.
And you have Moses Moody, who's a lockdown defender and can run the floor in the fast break. Dude, like, you have one of the most high, like, if you get Brook Lopez and can re-sign Draymond, that's why what's happening is, and I think this is the dispute. I think this sucks to even say, bro. I think if they don't want to give Draymond the contract that he wants, because I know he wants more money and he deserves more money. I'm not saying he doesn't. But what I'm saying is that if they don't get Draymond, they are going to do exactly that and get Brook Lopez. I don't think they can run it 2 at the same time unless Brook is really on it. Brook's already got a ring, right? Like, he's already won. He's had that. He gets it. Chris Paul is an easy lay.
So you're saying if they don't sign Draymond, then they'll get Brook Lopez? I would like to see them both on the squad.
I would love to see them both on the squad, but I don't think it's feasible in terms of salary cap. I don't. Because they just paid. They still have some luxury. They didn't pass off all the debt from Jordan Poole. They have some debt from him. Like, they definitely passed off quite a bit to the Wizards, but they still have some debt they have to pay Jordan Poole. And that's what's kind of leaning, because they gave him a fucking big contract. They gave Wiggs a big contract. Like,
but also CP3 is just 1 year, so they could push some of the salary cap pressure later on into the contract years. Every owner, they were talking about the luxury tax. Like, they're like, nobody gives a fuck about luxury tax anymore. They're going to pay that shit regardless because they want to win. Like, the Phoenix Suns. Yeah, if you win a championship, you'll make it back on the back end tenfold. So
exactly. And so in hopes, I think this will. I personally believe, with just the moves we've seen in the past few weeks, this might be one of the best NBA seasons we've seen in a long time, bro. Because there's going to be a lot of fucking good teams if they're healthy. Like, a lot. And it's going to be a grueler. I think ultimately, just based off the moves here, not even talking about them getting Brook Lopez, I think just getting Chris Paul it could work. I definitely think they will get somebody else. Even if it's not Brook, it'll be some big that's definitely can stretch the floor. That could make them a championship contending team again. I think they're always a championship contending team with Steph, right? And when Clay makes jump shots, it's almost unbeatable just between the two of them. But then you obviously have the East, where you still have Joel. You have now like a Wizards not contending for a championship, but putting some pressure on people. You have the Celtics with Kristaps. You obviously have the Joker in the West, and with Jamal off of a ring. They ain't winning another ring next year. I'm gonna tell you all that shit right now. It's not happening. It will not happen. It does not happen. They are not the Warriors. They are not LeBron. I'm just telling you how it is. You have the Heat, who are going to contend in the East. You have the fucking
So
Milwaukee Bucks. You
quick,
have so many teams that could be great.
I think next season is going to be amazing. Real quick, where do you want to see Dame Lillard go to? I kind of want to get your quick answer. We don't have to stay on it too long, and we can kind of go over to the Black React segment. But where would you like to see Dame go to?
Great question. Tough. Jesus Christ. I would love to see him go to Miami. And I know that sounds like out of the blue a little bit. And he doesn't seem like the type of guy that would fit into that environment, like just the environment of Miami. Not like I'm not saying Miami the team. I'm saying the city. I think Portland is not like that, bro. Like Portland is nowhere near that shit. It's fucking Oregon, bro. Ain't no Latinas just hanging out BBLs everywhere in Portland. I'm just telling you, this is how it is. I think Dame Lillard in Miami could win Miami a championship if they come with the same heat they came this year. I think that could literally be a scary ass fucking team to try to beat because it's gritty. Dame's always been gritty. Like he's always been gritty. Even in the times they were getting beat in the playoffs by the Warriors, by the fucking Thunder, like when they had the KD days, like always been gritty, bro. Like and that team is what it's all about. Teamwork, gritty, believing in each other. And I do believe that's what he's built like. And they did say, and I agree, you can't have Jimmy Butler being your sole superstar and win a championship, and that's the reason they lost this year. I think if they had another player on the team that could legit score, the Nuggets might have been seeing 7 games. Like, and that's just a fact. I don't think they had the defense to hold up. Like, you can't guard a Dame and a Jimmy. Like, that's 2 different games. And like, who the fuck is guarding Dame? Like, who is gonna guard him? You can put Aaron Gordon's big ass on Dame. He gonna cross this shit across the moon. So
I think Miami makes the most sense to me when I'm thinking about where the fit is and how perfect it would be. Dame, Butler, and Bam would just be that's a crazy big 3. That's really nice, and all of them in the Miami colors. I could just see the grit of the team that you speak of. I could see that. I'm gonna put out a name out there, just for me personally because I think if these two paired together, the way we would look at it from a legacies perspective would just be an era in itself. Knowing that Chris Middleton wants more money, knowing that, maybe Drew Holiday could be a good trade asset, I would love to see Dame and Giannis pair up in Milwaukee. I think that would just be so filthy, man. Like Dame just doing his work up top, taking so much pressure off of Giannis to take over the game because we know Chris Middleton, he just decides when he wants to show up, kind of like his fucking hairline. He just decides when it wants to pull up and whatnot. So I think Dame and Giannis would be a fire pairing. But to be completely fair and to be completely honest, I think that the Miami Heat make the most sense and it's probably the best fit. I think that's
they're probably one of the only few teams that can legitimately even afford his contract, like afford what he like really wants to get paid,
and have decent trade assets to give
exactly
back to Portland.
Exactly. I don't think, and that's the thing about Miami. I think you kind of dismember some of that team. It could hurt them. They have to really be smart about how they pick apart the team if they are going to shoot.
Well, I mean, you get rid of Tyler Hero. He wasn't even there for the playoff series, so you know that they can win without him. Caleb Martin, yeah, he's a nice piece, but I mean, I ain't keeping Caleb Martin to not have Dame Lillard. So, like, Caleb Martin also didn't show up in the finals. Lillard would have got you your 25. I think over the last 2 seasons, he's averaged 29 points a game or 28 or something like that. So, I think you do whatever you can do to get Dame Lillard to come to Miami, and that's another finals run. Sorry, Celtics, you're a little Porzingis god. You still gonna come up short again. If that happens, you're gonna come up short again.
And Mazzulla is getting fired.
He's gone. He's out that bitch. They wanted to fire his ass this year. I guarantee you they wanted to fire his ass.
They were like, we can't just do this after losing.
They ain't had nobody else to bring in, but Yeah, so that's where I would want to see Dame. That's
Yeah.
kind of the trade frequency and whatnot, and that's kind of where I'm at with it.
Yeah, I think that, like we both agreed. I mean, this is gonna be a crazy NBA season. I'm super excited. And shout out LeBron for making this even possible because without LeBron and doing the decision, the offseason would never be like this. I'm telling you, they wouldn't. They just wouldn't. Like they just wouldn't. Super teams that like the next hit a super team after LeBron, guess what happened? KD went and got him 2 fucking rings. 2 fucking rings. Just ran over and got 2 motherfucking rings.
And I ain't got one
And
since.
and niggas were like, damn, like LeBron, you really ruined the game. And they still calling KD a snake. And like, nah, nigga, call LeBron the snake. He left Cleveland, then came back, and they're like, nah, that's our hero now. Nah, nigga, that ain't your hero. That ain't your hero. I'm a fucking Batman. Batman ain't no motherfucking hero. He's a vigilante.
That's like the dad that leaves when you're a kid and comes back at fucking 16, 17. Like, oh, that's the best dad in the world. That nigga ain't been there through your childhood, my bro.
Nah, it's like the memes like of just like the bottom half of the picture when the dad comes back with the milk when son gets drafted to the NBA. And he's like,
Yeah.
Dum, and he just walk in the door. But enough of that. We love talking about the NBA. There'll be more to come. That's definitely going to be a weekly thing for sure because shit just pops off every day around here. I did want to give a quick shout out to like music really quick. I don't know if y'all have heard it. Shout out Sprinter, Central C, and Dave. I've been listening to that shit for the past like 3.5 weeks. Like crazy. Still listen to it. It's a UK rap thing. Central C, if y'all don't know him, he's the how can I be homophobic? My bitch is gay. That guy. And Dave is like one of the best UK artists, like, period. He's clouded up. Go listen to the song Crazy Bars. If you're a person that loves bars and loves a good flow, like it's got a little Latin flow, but it's not like a Latin song, you'll love it. But on to our favorite segment
Yes, sir.
of the evening. It's our Black React, folks. So for this week, folks, I don't know if y'all been keeping up with the show Idol. I'm sure a lot of people aren't because it is hella graphic and hella offensive and hella a lot of things.
Hey, it's outpacing Euphoria as far as streams.
Yeah. Well, it's because it's that outrageous. Like
outrageously bad. Yeah.
Like it's one of the worst shows I've probably watched in a long time.
It could have been good though. It could have been good if they just focused on the artist instead of like the Weeknd's character. It could have been good.
Yeah, I mean she's also like nice to see like a little bit, like, and that sounds bad on my end, but like it's just I mean it's HBO baby, like we gonna get what we get. But so the viral clip of the Idol, the show, as we were just talking about, where the Weeknd's character shows how to deal with a quote unquote guy best friend. So to break down the clip before I even ask the question, you guys, the gentleman in the show is his parents or his family's like doctors. They're like gastrology or intestines doctors. They deal with the gut health and like just doctors overall. And like she's like I'm pretty sure this guy's also her chef, which makes a lot of sense if his family's good with the intestines, knows what to put in her body to make sure she's not feeling sick or bloated or whatever. And she's one of the stars of the show. Joss, as everybody calls her, Jocelyn's her name. And the Weeknd's been having sexual encounters with Joss. And he's kind of a bit manipulating. But to go to the point here, if you guys don't understand it, definitely just go watch the clip. You could type it in online. It's literally like 2-minute clip. So he's like touching her stomach, like she's showing her like what her stomach looks like. Because if you eat the right things, no matter if you work out or not, like it definitely you can see in tonality in your stomach. And he's like, "Oh my gosh, you look so good!" Like he's like touching her body, and it's all supposed to be platonic. We don't know how that exactly goes, but the Weeknd sitting there after a night in at the house with a couple other people there, and he's like, "Yo, what the fuck is going on? Like, why are you touching my girl like that?" And then I'll let the rest of the clip, y'all go watch it yourselves. But to that point, the question I have for you, Big Mike, Big Mike, if that's your girl, bro, like you've been like messing around or you at her crib, like and her like chef friend, whatever, starts touching up on her, like saying, "Oh, you look so good," blah blah blah, blah, and like they're supposed to be platonic or whatever. What's your rule, bro? When it comes to like your girl and her quote unquote guy best friend.
Nah. We ain't starting with me, my dog. You the one that's got a girl. You the one in a relationship. You probably done fucking ended some guy best friends. I don't know. And I doubt you've done that. But I want to know what your rule is. You're in a relationship, so what rules are you setting over there in your household, my bruh?
My rule of thumb, just period, on the guy or the girl side, just respectively, is that like guys and girls can be friends to a certain degree. I think there has to be a line. If there's no line there, that means that it's just as open as anything, right? If it comes to guy best friends, I haven't had to necessarily deal with that issue, to be honest with you. I was fortunate to a certain degree. But the rule I would have and the rule I do have is like, yo, first off, I gotta like the person, right? I gotta like know them and I gotta like them. Like that's just first things first. Then I gotta basically like, and girls that listen to, oh, he's insecure, like no, I'm not at all, actually. I've also got to know, like, bro, he's not trying to pull like my girl, but I know why he's there. Like, I know why he's there. I know what he's doing right now. Like, you just popped in her life 2 years ago. Like, this ain't like you've been in her life since she was like a child. I know how it goes. Like, I ain't gonna sit here and lie to you. I ain't gonna gaslight nothing. I ain't gonna manipulate no one and do nothing they don't want to do. But I'm definitely gonna be like, bro, I'm gonna put it in reality, because if I was in that situation, I was a brand new guy best friend to some girl, I'm waiting around until she gets done with her man, and like, oh, she's so hurt. She'll go and make a mistake with her guy best friend. I know how it go, and I'm gonna put that shit in her head, and she gonna think about it because I'm a dude and she's not, and let her make a decision as per usual. I'm not gonna be like, oh, don't talk to him, because that's just gonna make her want to talk to him more, right? Like that's just how, like, we all want what we can't have. And then that could indirectly make them more attracted to that person, and that could just not be a good situation. So my rule is I gotta like them, I gotta know them, and then I gotta know the fact like this dude is not gonna pull my girl, or I gotta know the understanding of the aspects of that relationship. Or they ain't hanging out by themselves either. Like they ain't just gonna be chilling like, oh, I'm gonna go over to so no. Nope.
Hold up, let me get my coat real quick.
Like, no, oh yeah, you need me to drive you over there? Oh, word. Like, not even having an invite. Oh, I'm gonna come in too. Shit, let me take my shoes off. Like, you are not just chilling with your guy best friend. Like, don't try to pull that shit with me, bro.
Yeah, so I'm kind of in the same boat. My rule for the guy best friend thing is it's kind of like one, if he had been there beforehand, you ain't just coming up with you ain't having no new guy best friends.
No new bro coming through. Like that's not happening.
What Drake say? No new friends. No new. Nah, we ain't doing that shit. You ain't bringing in no new nigga around here. He definitely had to get grandfathered in. Same thing like you said. I gotta fuck with a nigga, and he gotta fuck with me. I can't, like, if he ain't fucking with me, then you ain't about to be around, bro. I'll close this whole fucking shit off for you, my bro. Like, it's over with.
Why her car got a flat tire, bro? She gonna see you and like hang out? No, flat
tire, and I don't know how to change tires, my nigga. So she ain't coming over there.
Nah, bro.
But
wild, man.
Yeah. So they had to already be friends beforehand, and not just like last year or some type of shit. Y'all had to like been friends. Second off, if we were in the talking stage, if you ain't bring my bro up once, then he ain't a real best friend. You can't just up and we dating and telling me, oh no, this is my best friend. We've been friends forever. How come I ain't never heard about this nigga? Because if he one of those real guy best friends that's just platonic, I would have heard about him. I would have saw him through passing or something. And you can't just spring up some new nigga like that. Like, oh no, we been close back in the day. Like, nah, because you ain't talked to him. You ain't hung out once. There ain't been one time where I seen my bro. So nah. Y'all ain't been that close because you ain't been keeping up with him. So you don't need to you ain't finna start keeping up with him now. So that'd have been those are honestly the kind of rules. But childhood best friends, you can't really do nothing about that. You kind of have to let that one slide. I mean, like if he was childhood deep, like that nigga ain't going nowhere, and he done seen all the same crevices of your girl that you seen. He done seen all the crevices. He could tell you shit about your girl. Like, hey, bro, you hit it with the little, no, you know what I'm saying? You know, she kind of like that shit, but like, damn, because like I'm gonna try it at home, and he probably right too.
That shit gonna bother the hell out of you.
I wouldn't be pissed,
soft
but
as
he
a
probably
motherfucker.
right. He probably put me on game right now. Shit.
I mean, bro, like, and I'm also curious to see, like, obviously the girl side of things, if they have like, if their man has a girl best friend, and I obviously am opposed to like the girl having a guy best friend, but I think, see, I don't want to sound like a hypocrite because I'm not, but like, I think it also depends on like the situation that the guy or girl is in, right? Like, say like that guy is like they've known them a little while prior to obviously dating that girl, and that guy's been like dating his girl for like a long period of time, like right, like a good amount of time, 3-4 years, about time to break up, right? And and like you either started dating or you've been dating for a while. Like say it's 2 years in your own relationship. They've been dating. Him and his girl been dating for like 4, right? Solid, right? And we're getting to the point in our lives where people are starting to propose, get married, etc. That ain't me, G. So like that ain't happening. But like I think also you have to be very cognizant of how they interact with one another. Like, what type of interactions are that? Like, are they touching just point blank period, bro? Like, are they giving double hand hugs? Like, nah, side hugs only, G. Like
Side
one
hugs
arm,
only.
like
2 seconds, my nigga.
like you're not getting these long embraces like you're her dad or something. Like, nah, bro. Like, I get those hugs, and her dad and her mom and her little sister. That's it. And her grandma.
And to speak on the guys having girl best friends, I feel like every guy needs a girl best friend just for like an emotional
bring him down to
standpoint.
fucking earth.
Yeah, like to
You gotta
hold them
bring
down
him- you gotta
emotionally
bring him
because
down
we
to
can't
earth.
even like express emotions. We got to stay hard and rigid all the time. So like, and I mean, I guess when you get the girl, like that's supposed to take the replacement. But I mean, like
That's not how it works, bro.
it's
never how-
like nah, because like nah, you're gonna be
can't.
looking at me. I can't tell you everything. You're gonna be looking at me sideways.
Yeah, well, I mean, one of the best advice my dad ever gave me, and he's like, he told me this like years ago, even still like in the relationship or whatever. But he's like, dude, like you can't ever tell your significant other everything about you, like everything. You lose independence if you do that, especially as a man,
Yeah.
And like, there's nothing wrong with like people having friends. Like people are gonna have friends. They're gonna like people. People are gonna find people attractive. This is just normal, bro. Like, I mean, it is what it is. Like, you can't run away from the shit. Like, if your girl has a friend that's objectively attracted, like you are objective, she's an objectively attractive girl. You're gonna be attracted to them. You're not gonna make a move on them or nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't gonna do nothing crazy. But it's just respecting the fact, like, okay, like we're two individuals, and like, oh shit, okay, cool. Like that's kind of what it is. It's the same way. So that's fine. It's just the lines, bro. You gotta keep them. You gotta make sure they ain't no blurred lines around here, motherfucker. Them shits are thick as a motherfucker. That's bold. That bolded letters. Control B, bitch.
I ain't Robin
Like,
Thicke. There ain't no blurred lines.
Ain't no motherfucking blurred lines. Them shits are fucking control B. Ain't no way you thinking you got a shot. I'm making sure you get the hard friend zone where you feel like you just got rejected to your face without even knowing it. And if you need me to come up to you, my bro, and be like, yo, bro, that's what I just did to your friend last night. Yeah, it was crazy. Like, I will ruin every single image, fairy tale you fucking have. I swear to goodness, I would. But like I said, I haven't had to deal with that issue directly, or like within my situation. So I'm fortunate, but I mean, for the folks out there, like, honestly, just be a man and fucking have a backbone and be like, yeah, no, I don't really fuck with that. And if they don't fuck with it and they don't respect your opinion, fair enough. Like, that's just what it is. And that, to Michael's point, I'm 100% with you. Every man needs a guy or a girl best friend, a good girlfriend, not a girlfriend, but a girl that is a friend to bring him back down to earth. If you don't have them, hey, bro, dudes got egos, bro, and we gotta get brought down to earth. Like, it is just, they're like, oh, he's so humble. Nah, bro, we are not humble at all. We can't be. We cannot be. They're like, oh, like he has so much confidence. No, we're cocky. We gotta be. We have to overcompensate because we get beat down all the goddamn time. But I want to hear you guys' like, obviously, your opinions in the comment section, online, Instagram, those that are listening via Spotify, Apple Music, etc., whatever platforms. Hear your thoughts on it. Love to hear your thoughts back on just about every single topic, and I think they were all great. If you're not 100% informed on them, definitely don't comment and say something ignorant. But if you want to say something ignorant, say something ignorant. Don't really bother me. It ain't gonna hurt me. But I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts. Once again, always want to give you guys a shout out. Really, 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 really appreciate y'all. Couldn't do any of this without you guys. Actually, we probably could, but we want you guys here because we want to be talking to an audience that appreciates that really appreciates us. I love building this community. It's been fun. I want to continue to grow with y'all and provide content that you guys like. So shoot some comments over, shoot some information over to our Instagram, any platform where you can reach us at, to like get in touch with us, some things you guys want to hear, because we really want to put out stuff that you guys want to talk about just as much as we want to talk about things that we want to talk about. So, I mean, Mike, any closing regards before we roll out here, man?
Yeah, man. Yeah, we're seeing the views on YouTube go up. The streams are going up. So we appreciate you guys liking the content. You know that we gonna be here every week. Well, you know, most weeks we gonna try to be here as much as possible. You know what I'm saying?
95% of the time we're gonna be here.
95% of the time you can expect us Wednesday at 8 p.m. But right now it is Tuesday 10:30 p.m. and I am getting tired and I gotta edit this video. So we gonna close it out right here for you guys. So for all the fellas out there listening, just remember they only want a 1% nigga. So you gotta quit your bitching and get your bread up. For the ladies out there listening, he don't want you, sweetie. You just gotta move on. But guess what? You're still beautiful and powerful and will always love you. It's the After Dark Podcast. Until next time.